The Trump administration hit the Sunday shows hard today to push the president's tax plan and make the case that it's actually very helpful for taxpayers.
The bottom line is that the White House, the president, is not going to sign a bill that raises taxes on the middle class, period.
The president praised House Republicans for passing their version of the bill, but the Senate still has to pass theirs. So will Congress be able to fulfill their promise to finish tax reform before the end of the year? Joining us now for a fair and balanced debate are Ted Harvey from the Committee to Defend the President and Robert Patilla, Atlanta radio host and attorney. Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Good afternoon, Jillian.
Thanks for joining us. Robert, I want to go to you first. We keep hearing about major discrepancies between the House and Senate versions of this bill. Can you lay out for us what those discrepancies are, you know, the top three by your way of thinking?
Well, I think that what we're realizing is that the Senate is very tenuous with far as the Republican grasp upon it. What the 2016 election results were was not a rejection of the Democratic Party. It was a rejection of the establishment. The establishment of the Republican Party is now sees the writing on the wall with Jeff Flake, Bob Corker, and Luther Strange all going down, that they have to have a populist bill. They have to have a bill that does more than cut taxes for millionaires and billionaires. Normal, everyday people, homeowners, citizens need to be able to have a tax cut that affects their bottom line. And right now, the Senate bill is not, or the House bill is not the bill that Donald Trump promised to his base.
All right, so it sounds like we're getting to the middle class question, the million-dollar question when it comes to this bill. I want to ask both of you, what do you make of this? Is this, as some senators are contending, disastrous for the middle class and really only a boon for the top 2% and businesses, or is this something that you think will help average American families? Ted, why don't you go first?
Okay, I think that it will be a boon for the middle class. I think the family deduction is going to double from $1,000 to $2,000. That's going to be a huge boon for the middle class. But I also think cutting the corporate tax down to 20% will be a boon for the middle class, because it'll put more money into the economy. It will allow businesses to hire more individuals and give individuals pay raises. I think it's going to be a boon for the entire economy, which is good for everybody all the way down the line.
Robert, what do you say to that?
Anybody who's a fiscal conservative or a deficit hawk understands that you cannot cut taxes and not also cut spending. George H.W. Bush called this voodoo economics. The numbers, simply put, do not work out. We're going to put ourselves further in debt to China. We're going to lose sovereignty. We're going against all the promises of the 2016 election with this bill. The Republican base has shown that they have no interest in the establishment of the party simply pushing down their own will on the people. We're going to see a wave election. This is how Republicans lose the majority in the House and the Senate, and they don't follow the will of the voters. Normal, everyday people need a tax cut that hits them directly and doesn't filter through and trickle down to them somehow from Washington.
Ted, what do you say to that?
That's an interest.
What do you say to critics of the president who contend that he ran on a platform to cut government spending? Why don't we just go ahead and do that with the tax reform bill? What do you say to that?
Well, I think the last comment was interesting, the voodoo economics quote. I worked in the Reagan White House, and Ronald Reagan did cut taxes, and he won the next election with 59 states across the country, and our economy boomed for the next 20 years because of that tax cut. This will be the first major tax cut since the Reagan administration, and I think every single economist in the country is saying if we do this, our economy will have an explosion, and it will put millions of people back to work, and we will have trickle down, as Ronald Reagan said, all the way down to middle-class America and below, and this will be good for the economy. Yes, we should have cuts in government spending, and I think what you are seeing the administration do through the regulatory reforms that they are doing is actually cutting government. Just the Department of Interior is trying to cut 4,000 employees just in the Department of Interior. There's huge things that are going on within the administration. It's not just this one tax cut plan.
So, gentlemen, going forward with this bill, folks at home should keep their eye on middle-class provisions and as well also the timing. As we know, this past Thursday, the House passed their version, 227 to 205. What remains to be seen is what the Senate does on their side. Thanks to you both for joining me.
Thank you.